on Salvage Hunters. Drew and T head for the south coast to meet a collector inspired by the wonders of the natural world. And they're in for a hoot.
Contents of one owl pellet. This has been through an owl.
I think it has.
Well, I've brought some right all in my time. That is literally a pile of pellets.
At a family-run dealer's in Shropshire, some Edwardian horticultural treasures have Drew brushing up on his Latin.
They sound like terrible diseases. Sidelicia listeria.
Yeah, it's not the most appetising menu, is it?
Yeah.
And hidden inside a converted church in Lancashire, Drew finds a chic 60s lamp, which he thinks might be the holy grail of all bargains.
£15. I'll say that again. £15 for that lamp. Wonderful. You know, fantastic.
Drew Pritchard is one of Britain's leading decorative salvage dealers.
Oh, my word. What on earth have they been doing in here? Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. What a thing.
He's on a hunt for weird and wonderful objects.
My God, this is rare. He's a jolly chap, isn't he?
He is.
In his search for treasure,
Wow, this is Indiana Jones stuff, isn't it? Oh, it's just so good.
he bargains hard.
It's a 500 quid gamble, or I'm walking away from it.
And there's nothing he won't buy.
100 quid would do the deal.
Man, I'll have it.
With help from Rebecca
If you compare it to the ones that Drew bought, they're virtually identical.
and a team of renovators, he transforms thousands of items, from junk to gems. When it comes to selecting pieces for his business, originality and a well-loved aesthetic is everything for Drew. That's why each item in his showroom comes with signs of a past life.
Age and patina are important to me. In fact, they're incredibly important. There's a wear and a love and a consistency of use to that wear which you can't make up. And that is worth way more to me usually than the object. That timeline of being loved at first, being overused, being discarded and then being found again. I like to see my antiques wear a bit of their age.
Today, the boys are driving 330 miles to Rye Harbour in East Sussex to meet a man who shares Drew's passion for patina and has turned it into an art form.
Today we're on a private house call to a guy called Nigel. He's an artist and collector, and they've just moved into a new house and they want us to sort of come and have a look at what he's got. I'm always keen to do house calls. House calls are for me the best generally. Every time there's a house move, a death, a debt or a divorce, we're called in. And that seems to be happening more and more.
Situated for centuries on the south coast at the narrowest point of the channel, the serene East Sussex town of Rye has long played a key role in British defences, from the Napoleonic War through to World War II. But after giant 13th century storms caused the wholesale movement of shingle and silt inland, Rye became separated from the sea by over 1,000 acres of wetlands, and today it's an important wildlife reserve. As well as being a haven for nature, it's also a haven for the arts. One artist and collector who calls Rye his home is Nigel Hills, and he has a very particular passion.
I've been an artist who has been inspired by beautiful decay for decades. Whether it's doing paintings showing the beautiful weathering effects, or whether it's actually incorporating time-stained materials into collages. I just love the natural effect of weathering that Mother Nature has. Mother Nature tends to be the greatest artist. Just downsized, so I've invited Drew and T along to have a rummage, and hopefully they'll find something that they also think has some beautiful patination about it, and I can raise some funds.
Nigel.
Hello,
how you doing?
Drew.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Hello, T. Nice to
you.
meet you too, sir. Right, so please come in, have a little rummage, and hopefully you find something that interests you.
After you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Nigel, this is lovely. The moment I walk through the door, I'm getting it. This guy's good. You could pick this house up and put it in a very, very swanky Mayfair gallery or somewhere in New York and make millions. It's got that feeling. And it all works together as one, and each piece works alone as well. That is good art. Do you sell stuff then?
No, not
You don't?
really.
Right, well, it's been lovely knowing you.
Yeah. Well, not usually, but that was before the electric bills got so big.
I see, I see.
I'm willing to clear some stuff if certain things catch your eye.
I keep looking at the Creepy Worlds thing over there.
Well, yeah, those are interesting, actually. They are printing, they're the 4-colour plates for comic covers. But the thing about these 2 particular ones that makes them special is they're by an artist called Steve Ditko. And Steve Ditko is one of the biggest names in comic art. He was the co-creator of Spider-Man and also the co-creator of Doctor Strange. So you're talking, you know, he's the man, really, Steve Ditko. Yeah.
How much is Creepy Worlds?
Creepy Worlds, you could have 75.
Can you hand it to me?
Yes.
I don't want to sort of move everything around.
Yeah, it's the 4 plates. So it's got you've got the 4 separations.
Each of these printing plates show a different section of the finished picture, as each one would have been used to layer a different colour onto the comic book cover. It's rare to have a surviving set like this, as plates would often have been melted down to reuse the metal. Comic book paraphernalia is always sought after and collectible. As a complete set, they could be worth around £200.
Do you want to buy it, T?
I don't know. I do like it.
It's very much your sort of thing. That is a lovely thing.
It is, yeah.
That's really nice. If you don't, I will.
Or if you're not buying them,
You want it?
Yeah.
There you go, sold. Well, we've gone from the door to there. Yeah. I'm doing
That's
well.
not bad, yeah.
That's good. Right, can we have a look through here? Because there's a couple of things in here which are really, really attracting me.
All right.
There's so many things in here. So which bits of these are your art?
This is one of mine. I used to know this really, really derelict old church, and what appealed to me about it was the way that the church window had broken and the way that the glass shone on the shards and the little bits of lead. And this church was due for demolition, and they actually got a bulldozer up to it, and they came in the morning and they couldn't start it up. So that little delay got it a reprieve from the governor, and they decided to redevelop it, and they turned it into a wonderful art centre.
Very nice. And I like the... Can I touch it?
Yeah, please
It's
do.
that.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh, a bit of impasto. I always work with knives. I can never get on with brushes. There's that little disconnect between the handle and the surface. I just can't get on with them.
Wow. I like it. Well, tell me about this as well. Did you put this together, or has this come as was?
I actually got it as was. I've always loved wasp nests. Again, you know, Mother Nature being the greatest artist, wasp nests are just beautiful sculptural forms.
Really like it.
I think it's about like an old museum cabinet, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is. I think it's been cut down, unless it was a tabletop one. It's just really extraordinary. The case itself is worth 100 quid because it's been cut down. Yeah. That's the value of that, and it needs to have the legs taken off and then a moulding put round it. And then what's it worth as an art piece? 300?
In Sussex, Drew and T have been invited to buy from the private collection of an artist who shares Drew's passion for items which tell a story.
Wasp nests are just beautiful sculptural forms.
Really like it.
Drew's haggling for this unusual table, but doesn't want to get stung on the deal.
300?
Mm-hmm. I think that sounds fair enough.
You sure?
Yep.
I can see by your face you don't want to let it go.
You're not sounding
I can see you don't seem convinced. In fact, I'm going to withdraw. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I can't. I could see your face then. Your face changed colour and everything.
Well, my fiancé doesn't like it, so yeah, you can.
All right, I'm taking it. I'll take it. I think it's lovely. Rather beautiful. Yeah. The next thing, which is a very large dissected wasp nest in a museum case. The museum case would have been on long, tall legs, so it would have been about, this high. The legs have been cut down, all the veneers coming off them. The wasp nest is a nice big one. It's been nicely cut in half. You know, it's been nicely put together. That's great. We can make money from that. But it's a very interesting thing. You've got a really, obviously, great eye.
Oh, that's really nice to see.
Really, really good eye. That's a ticket office box, isn't it?
It's got the GWR on it.
Would have been at sort of eye level.
Oh, right,
Does
yeah,
it
probably
close?
would.
Does it close?
It does close, yep.
Yeah, that's it. I've had one of these before.
This pine ticket cabinet dates from the early 20th century. Each pigeonhole would have been filled with small train tickets with the destination and price written on the front. Drew thinks the cabinet would have been hung up inside the Ticketmaster's office so travellers could choose their destination and be given their ticket to be stamped once on board the train. In a thriving market for railway memorabilia, it could be worth around £500.
So are these costs? These are ticket costs?
Yeah, it's ticket costs. It would cost you, for if you had a lone dog, for 20 miles, it would cost you sixpence. But if you had your lone dog and you only wanted to go 10 miles, it'd be threepence.
How would the dog know when to get off?
When he got to barking.
Hey.
That's made my day. That's wonderful. One of the pieces in there says lone dog and a price of 2 shillings or whatever. That just takes you to another place. You know, it just takes you into another whole realm. And how simple was life then? At that moment, when that guy wrote that on there, how simple was that? Nigel, would you sell that?
I would, as I say, I bought it for a different property when I was about to buy a more industrial sort of place, and it's not really belonged here.
The colour, the surface and the wear do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But for lone dog alone, I want it. In the right place, around people who get it, it's got a great value.
Yeah.
Or it's on that fine line. You know, you understand.
Yep, I do.
Can I err on the side of caution and give you 300 quid for it? Or is that...
Could I squeeze you to 350?
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with 50 quid when I'm offered something like that. It's got it all. Without those paper labels in there, it's worth a tenner.
They made it.
Right? Yeah,
exactly.
It's worth nothing.
It's these little bits, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Go on then, we'll have that.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Can you show us some more?
Well, something else upstairs you might have to look at. So there's 1 or 2 things in here you might find interesting.
Nigel, you're a man after my own heart. You've just... Wow. Interesting, unusual pieces. He has an extraordinary eye. I mean, there's bits of old motor in there. And then there's real pieces of fine, fabulous art next to old postcards and advertising and bits of soap and this, that and the other. But as a whole, it works. I'd buy the whole room if I could. This is great as well. So it's fairground.
It's fairground, yep, it's a fairground shooting range target, I guess.
Yeah, they're sort of generically called finger boxes. Well, they generally would be in a box, so you'd catch the pellet wouldn't just ping off. But this may have been in a much larger thing, so... Well, that's great.
It's one of the most bonkers things I've ever seen, because once you hit the target, this would spring up and the little klaxon would sound, but it's also got a reservoir for something like gasoline or something, so it would actually shoot flames out of the gun turret of the tank.
It's health and safety gone mad, isn't it?
It is.
I love just that exists. This is like no other shooting game I've ever seen before. It's a tank that if you hit the target, releases a skeleton that howls at you and then shoots flames out of the tank. Well, if you don't want that in your life, there's something wrong with you, because that is fun. What do you want for it?
I have no idea. Where would you see it?
Can I give you 200 quid for it?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Sure.
It shows me, yeah.
Okay. We do a deal at £200. That's okay, because I just have to have it. A guy literally on the floor in a shed, knocked that up in 20 minutes out of parts to make money out of it. And I'm so glad it still exists. Right. I think we're done. Should we load up?
Yeah.
Before I spend any more money.
Okay.
Let's take this one out of the way.
You're not even taking the owl pellet, Frank.
The owl pellet thing. Hang on, whoa, whoa, whoa. You've got an owl pellet thing as well.
Yeah, that could be very reasonable.
So, J. Horn, contents of 1 owl pellet, cleaned, sorted and arranged. Brushed remains of skull, lower jaw, remains of upper jaw, vole, shrew. This has been through an owl.
I think it has.
A very successful owl, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's probably a hoot.
Shin bones with fused second bone, upper leg and arm bone.
That's a menu from an owl restaurant. That's what it is.
What do you want for this then? Well, I've got to buy it now. Come on, give me a price.
Oh, you can have that for 50 quid.
Sold.
Yeah.
Well, I've brought some right home in my time, but that's literally...
That is literally a pile of...
That is literally a pile of
pellets.
Pellets. Right, that's
Right,
it. Enough.
that's it.
Enough. We'll come back for that. Marvellous, thank you.
Right, pleasure.
After you.
Nigel's house has been wonderful. I found it enriching. I found it exciting. I found it fun. I think his assembly of art and objects is a piece of art in itself. And this house, as one, and each room are their own miniature art galleries, and I've enjoyed every second of it.
Well, it's been lovely to share my love of decayed and weathered beauty with someone like Drew, who has that same passion for genuinely, naturally worn items all around. Everything's just worked out really well.
Well, Nigel, I can probably speak for you to say what a top bloke.
Yeah, very nice man.
Very nice man. His sort of fixation on weathered, patination, all of those different things sort of really hark into what I'm always on about as well, which is originality. And he'd just taken it to another level, really. I found the day with Nigel very inspiring.
In search of more aged and characterful items, Drew's going back to an antique showroom where he's had success before. It's a 70-mile trip from Conwy to Oswestry in Shropshire.
So we're off today to see Andy and Elaine again at the old yard.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, really nice people.
What did we buy from there? That was
chicken coop.
A chicken coop.
Yeah, which was really hard to get in the back of the van.
What a chicken coop that was.
The boys may have looked a little different when they last visited,
Andy? Tea.
Andy, Drew.
and were impressed with the giant array of items collected by veteran dealer Andy.
80 quid?
80 quid, lovely.
But one thing hasn't changed. It's still his eye for patination that's got Drew excited.
I love your shed. What would you want for it?
150.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm having that.
Great.
Yeah. I'm just made up with it. It's brilliant. In an ideal world, as a dealer, right, I'd see every single dealer I know every day of the week. It's really tricky because you're always going to miss something. It's really, no matter how hard you work, you're going to miss bits. Looking forward to seeing them.
A border town repeatedly ravaged by wars between England and Wales, Oswestry in Shropshire is thought to have originally been named Oswald's Tree. One legend claims that the severed arm of the 7th century king Oswald of Northumbria was carried into a local ash tree by a raven. Today, just outside the town, a less grisly but equally fascinating set of objects have been salvaged and collected at the Old Yard, a family-run antiques business. Drew's guide for the day is Andy Jennings.
The Old Yard is a family business. We've just brought our daughter in to help us. I like the chase and the buying and just handling nice things every day. Back in 2015, Drew came. We had a great day. Believe it or not, he actually took away my wife's chicken shed, which shocked us all, I think. Couldn't believe it. And that actually led us into making full-size shepherd's huts. Drew's obviously a one of the leaders in the antique game, and it's always nice to get opinions of what you're doing. And if he buys it, that's even better. Hi, guys. Good to see you.
Didn't learn from last time.
No, I know. No,
You've expanded.
Yeah.
we're trying.
And so have I.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing our bit.
Can we have a look around?
Yeah, let's go through there.
So, I mean, what's changed then? A lot, by the looks of it.
A lot. Yeah.
Because how long have you been doing it now?
On and off for 30 years.
Well, there you go. Well, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
We last came here 6-ish years ago and bought something remarkable. They're still getting it right. They're still doing their thing. They're still enjoying the job. People's stock changes constantly. So however long it's been from coming to see somebody, it's never too soon to get back. Where do you get this from?
It's one of my daughter's finds.
I wonder where it came from. It's not country house stuff. It's not bed stuff. It's just like from a workshop.
Workshop, I would have thought. Yeah.
Made specifically for something, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
height of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This simply constructed set of steps is English and consists of a pine frame panelled with tongue and groove timber. Dating from around the early 20th century, they could be worth around £250.
But I could do them for 160.
Yes.
Lovely.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Thank you.
For 160 quid, it's fine. It's great. I need one small repair underneath, so it'll owe me 175 quid, and we will get 250 quid. So there's 75 quid profit in there. Thank you very much. I'll take that. So your daughter's come into the business with you now?
She's been with us now for 3 months, yeah.
How old is she?
32.
I mean, what did she do before then?
She's a financial advisor.
My financial advice would be don't get into the antiques trade.
Yeah, well, I know. You need fresh blood, don't you, really?
You do. My son's 22, and he's coming into it now, and
Right.
he's just buying some art that I'm looking at going, what on earth?
Yeah,
And put it in the shop, and it's gone.
gone. But it's great.
I know. Can we have a look at this?
Do you want the other one over?
Is there, where's the other one? Over here. The trick with these is it's all about the age. So what you really want is an 18th century one.
Yeah.
Incredibly hard to find. This one is, I would say, 19th century. That one's 20th century. So you've got it down as late 19th century lead fountain, which I think you banged.
Right, OK. From the colour?
From the colour and the style of the hairstyle,
Yeah.
the style of the dolphin.
Didn't know fish wrestling was so popular. It's
big.
It was, yeah, it seems to be very big.
The lead putty with dolphin fountain, it interests me. The chasing, which is the hand finishing of the hair, is an 18th century hairstyle. So I'm thinking, right, OK, that's showing me a little bit. But also, whenever you're buying lead, there's a tell, because it goes black, right? And this one's just turning, and that takes a couple of 100 years to achieve all over. So I would say this is 19th century.
This late 19th century lead figurine was most likely a fountainhead. For centuries, lead has been an important material to sculptors because it casts well, meaning that details like hair and fish scales can be accurately rendered. This beautifully patinated example could be worth around £650.
How much can that be? Because obviously it's all the money now.
Yeah, that can be 580.
In Oswestry Street, the perfectly aged surface of a lead sculpture has convinced Drew it's a 19th century original.
How much can that be? Because obviously it's all the money now.
Yeah, that can be 580.
I think the feet are really good, aren't they?
Yeah. It's got all the right hallmarks of a decent thing. You can see there, see that there? That's a fiberglass repair underneath, see? Which does knock it.
A good repair, though.
It's not a bad repair at all, but a repair nonetheless. 500 quid?
Done.
Deal?
Said that too quick, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a nice one. So the best I can do with this now is just handle it. The more I can do is just rub it. You can just see it starting to turn there. That's the colour it would go there. See that?
Oh, crikey.
No, that's the colour it would go. What are you charging for these ones, for these plants labels? Do you know where they came from? Which gardens?
I haven't got a clue, unfortunately. I'd probably pick these up at a fair somewhere, so...
They sound like terrible diseases. Sidolicia listeria. Caluna vulgaris alba.
Yeah, it's not the most appetising menu, is it?
Yeah.
What are they, Edwardian?
Yeah. Nice, aren't they?
There are 25 of these early 20th century horticultural specimen markers, made from cast lead and alloy. They have characterful patination and bear evocative Latin botanical names. The collection has potential as a decorative piece and could be worth around £250.
£5 a piece?
How much does that add up to? 55, 60, 65 quid in there.
12 there, so that's 60 quid.
60.
120.
120. Sold. I'll take them.
Lovely, thank you.
Tell me about this. Where'd you get this from?
I bought that out of the... That came out of the trade, not too far away. There's one crack on one pane. Apart from that, it's all OK. Lovely glass.
Yeah. It's got lots of good things here. A very nice, stylised lantern, diminutive, cast sort of finished brass, got a nice colour, started to sort of green up. Very good, colourful glass in there. So it was done to hide the light source, but also to be highly decorative. Remember the Victorians where they decorated everything. If it sat still, they put a pattern on it, right? They did, you name it, they made skirts to go around table legs. They were the kings of the ornamentation. And I don't really like heavily ornamented things, but it's good. It's quality.
This tapering hexagonal 19th century hall lantern is English and has an ornate cast brass frame. Its floral patterned glass panels are acid etched, and the amber colour comes from painting silver nitrate on the glass and firing it in the kiln. This process was introduced in the 14th century and is known as silver staining. It could be worth around £325.
That's such a shame that one's cracked.
I know.
It's so, so expensive to have that done. Another thing that we used to do, you know, we used to replace these for people.
Could you get that done today?
Yes. There's 4 processes in that. There's acid etching, silver staining. See this, it was shadowing. That's the silver stain. That's shadowed it as well there. So it's four processes to it, so it's not worth fixing.
No.
200 quid?
Yeah.
Sold.
Thank you. You can have the chains.
Thank you very much. Got it for 200 quid. Put the chains on it. Is it worth 300 quid? Yes. Is it worth trying for 325? Yes. Without the crack, 700, 800 quid. But hey, the crack is there. Nothing I can do about it right now. The old yard today, just as good as the first time we came here. We found unusual, interesting, period, unrestored antiques. All of the items I bought today share one thing, and I think it's originality. They've not been messed with. It's got that thing that I really love, which is they wear their age well.
It's been really great having Drew here today. He's obviously bought some nice pieces. It's always great to have his feedback from someone so knowledgeable. Drew and T, you can come back any time. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, thank you. That was good, wasn't it, T?
It was excellent.
Great. We've all aged a bit.
Yeah.
Some of us better than others.
Well,
Actually, no, none of us. Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
We'll see you again.
Yeah. Nice to see you,
Bye.
Bill.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Well, there you go. That proved worthwhile. Going to go and see them again.
Yeah.
Good little pieces. I think the little lead fountain, classical thing, quite naive. That's going to be, I mean, all of them are going to be straightforward, easy sellers. But I do think that the little stained glass hall lantern is the pick of the bunch, and I think we'll actually do quite well on that one. That's going to be, it's sort of 4 things with small profits, you know?
Yeah.
Little profits, I think, on those. And little profits, a lot of time, is very, very good.
To find out more about the set of horticultural labels which Drew brought back from the old yard, Rebecca's visiting the Ness Botanic Gardens on the Wirral.
Now these plant labels, made of metal, really sturdy, and they're all embossed with Latin names. Now this one, for example, Erica cinerea rosea. The Erica refers to a type of heather. The cinerea is a sort of flesh-coloured pinky colour, and the rosea is how pink is that pink. And this heather in front of us, in all its autumnal glory, is very similar to our plant label. And if you've ever wondered why all plant names are in Latin, it's down to this chap, Swedish botanist Carl Linnaeus. So with Latin being a dead language, he thought it'd be the perfect choice to standardise plant names globally. It's lovely to see the old traditional methods still dotted around here. This marker here is over 100 years old, and it's still fulfilling its original purpose. And if you compare it to the ones that Drew brought back to Conway, they're virtually identical. So I can now say with some certainty that these plant markers once played a very important role in the borders of a 19th century grand estate or botanic garden.
For their final visit, Drew and T are heading to a successful antique centre 98 miles away in Haslingden, a small village set in the majestic scenery of the South Pennine Hills. Close by are two historic mills, no longer working, but now turned into a museum to celebrate the once awesome prowess of Lancashire's textile industry.
Today, Holden Wood Antiques. Again, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get lucky. But you have to put yourself in the way of luck. And that's what going to an antique centre is. Because as we speak now, driving towards the antique centre, somebody could be there offloading something amazing. You just don't know.
Holden Wood is an antique centre in disguise. Converted from a disused church in 1991, this place is now a shrine to antiques and collectibles. Ordained with the task of running the centre is John Ainscott.
We have a various mixture of items, furniture, ceramics, glass, sculptures, paintings, pretty much everything that you could want. It is very crowded at the weekend. People tend to make a day of it because of the tea rooms has a good reputation, and a lot of people just come for the tea rooms, and then we find new customers because they wander into the antique centre, and we convert them.
Hello.
Hiya, Drew.
How are you doing? All right?
Not so bad, you?
Nice to meet you. Nice
How are
to
we
meet you.
doing? You okay?
Hi, T.
You okay?
Okay, so, I mean, tell me about the place. Obviously based in a beautiful old church.
Yeah, it's got quite a history. It was moved here.
The church was moved here?
Yeah, stone by stone, from about a mile up the road. Where
That's bad planning, isn't it, to move it a mile?
Yeah. Well, they wanted to make a middle reservoir where the grain village used to be.
Okay.
And there are a whole load of flooded houses and disused houses up there now.
Oh, I see, okay.
But they got given this land to move the church, so it was literally moved stone by stone in carts.
Okay, so you've got an awful lot of sort of arts and crafts stuff here, a lot of it.
Different dealers specialise in different areas.
And the dealers here, how many did you have?
There are actually about 60. Some of those just have cabinets.
Right. Who's your top guy? Who's the best
That's
one?
me.
Well said. We keep coming to these places for a very, very good reason. We're going to buy stock. You've got all of these people. So there's 60 people in here, out now, potentially buying things that they're going to bring here to sell. That's 60 people working for you, helping you to find things. This I like. That's nice. That's got a look to it, hasn't it? Brass lantern. There's a light on the side there. It's an unusual sort of hooded shape to it. It's got elements of the arts and crafts in it, but it's got also sort of French elements of sort of little tiny Rococo bits on it as well. So it's a strange mix, but very attractive.
This steel lantern was made in England and dates from the late 19th century. It's glazed with pieces of muffled glass. It's in excellent condition and would look superb hung in the hallway of a house. It could be worth around £400.
How much can that's 220? What can that be?
Do 200 on that.
In Lancashire, Drew's on the hunt for items that show off their age and tell a story. And he spotted a pleasingly weathered 19th century hooded lantern.
How much can that? It's 220. What can that be?
Do 200 on that.
Yeah, go on, 200 quid. Yeah, it would have been great at 180, but 200's fine. All right, let's keep going. God, you need to go around this place about 10 times, don't you, to sort of to get it all. There's so much stuff in here. Multi-wood lamp base, £15.
Yes.
Is that really stylish, or am I losing my touch?
I quite like it.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. If you don't have a £15, I will.
I think you've got to reimagine it with that horrible shade off. With a nice bulb holder on there. That's a great-looking lamp, isn't it? £15.
This chap is...
I'm not even going to bother for discount. I'll take it, thank you.
OK.
Yeah, no, that's great. A 1960s turned timber lamp. It's very pure to that period. It couldn't have been made at any other period. That's when it's from, that's what it looks like, and it's quite nice. You know, it's got that boho, chic, relaxed, comfortable feeling to it. This is what I love about these centres. You come here, you can buy something that's going to look really chic, different, and very period in your house. £15. All it needs is a nice shade, a low-level bulb there, rewire it, and it's hundreds of pounds then. You know, that's what it is, and it's £15. I'll say that again, £15 for that lamp. Wonderful, you know, fantastic. These are fun. Yeah. I do buy loads of these things. I buy too many of these little Burmese-type elephants. That one's
a bit wobbly.
That's a bit wobbly, isn't it? That can be fixed. How many have you got?
I think there's only the two there, isn't there?
There's two more there. I thought I saw two more. Can we get these out?
Yeah, sure.
And have a look at them.
Do you want to go on
Yeah. They're great fun. There's a couple of elephant head models there, and one's got the trunk up like that, which is good luck, and the other one has a raised trunk again, but hooked. So one's for hanging your coat on, and one's for putting a coat hanger on.
A self-confessed elephant obsessive, Drew's been drawn to two pairs of coat hooks dating from the early 20th century. The elephant heads are carved from an ebonized hardwood. The original tusks are made of bone, not ivory. But some are missing, and replacements will need to be made by carving from blonde wood. Once restored, this collection could be worth around £400.
They're great. What's the estimate? 20, so 80 quid. Any trade on that? Or is that
70 quid.
Fine, thank you. I'll take those.
OK.
They're great, aren't they? It's just one of those things that, you know, they don't have to be loads of money, and they can still be just really cool and stylish. If you put them in a, you know, classic Art Deco bathroom or wherever, they're going to look great fun. Very pleased. Right, I think time for a cup of tea.
After the buy of the day.
Yeah. The turnover of this place is high. They sell a lot of stuff from here. So that's a massive amount of stock keeps coming in. We just have to keep coming into these places and get lucky. And every now and again, in one of these places, you do. Today, I was lucky enough to pick up a turned timber table light, that wonderful polished steel lantern of the sort of hooded form one with the arts and crafts sort of finials to it, and the elephants. I think my favourite thing. Those elephant hooks, I think, are great. I'd happily have them at home.
Oh, it's been a fabulous day. It's great to see Drew and T, and yeah, they're welcome back anytime.
Holden Antique Centre, good.
Excellent, yeah.
Excellent, nice building, good tea. That's the trick with an antique centre, isn't it? Sell tea and cake.
Because people come for the tea and cake and go, oh, I want one of them.
Yeah.
In Conwy, the extraordinary fairground fingerbox Drew picked up from Nigel Hill's Sussex cottage is arriving at the forge of Master Blacksmith Nev.
It's a weird and wonderful thing, isn't it? But we've got to get it working. And as you can see here, there was probably a target plate there that's obviously been shot clean off. And then we've got this chap. So in that shot, this would fly up, I assume.
The mechanism which causes the skeleton to jump up when the target is hit seems to be missing a critical spring, which needs to be replaced.
I don't feel fully trained in how much tension you need to throw up a skeleton, but yeah, it's an unusual ask, isn't it? We will have him jumping up. I like him, so we're going to go with that.
The spring is extended to fit the mechanism using a wire link.
Right, let's have a look. So he's hooked in there good. Whoa. That'll scare some kids, that will. Whoa.
Nev now needs to replace the missing target. Using sheet steel, he first cuts a square and then trims it to form a circular disc.
So like a little hamster, you're nibbling away at this. There you go.
Which can then be smoothed with a grinder and hand painted.
All painted, dried, and I've aged him up to look like he's been shot a bit. And I think it looks a treat there.
The skeleton is back in action, springing up from the dead. But two other things are supposed to happen when the target is hit. Drew had thought flames would shoot out of the tank's gun, but Nev thinks it's more likely to have been water, and an alarm is meant to sound.
So because the wires were cut to this speaker, I'm now joining two new ones on. I'm a blacksmith, but I have a small, short background in electrics. So if we go above basic, we're stuffed. Water pump, wiring up. That's good, that. Electrics all done. Pipes in the water. Nerves. I mean, this hasn't been used probably for quite a few years. All I've got to do now is hook that end up to the battery and see what happens.
Hi there.
Drew.
How you doing?
You right? Good?
Ha ha ha!
We're all done. It's brilliant, this.
I love it. And you've done that?
I've done a new target.
Yes,
Yeah.
that looks really good.
Should we hook it up?
Yeah.
Yeah? Go on then, you do the honours.
A bit worried now.
I'm joking. It's all the way over there.
About 10 foot.
Yeah. But it's a little
Loud,
bit
isn't
loud.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The noise, the water, and Nev's made it work. And then he's put that little target thing on the back, which is perfect. You would never know that's been put on, ever. It's great. You can imagine, it's at night, midsummer, candy floss, loads of that going off. Cost you 20p to get all that fun out of it. You know, it's an odd thing, but for that reason alone, I love it. Brilliant.
Cool, isn't it?
Mate, that is so good.
So
I'm very
homemade.
surprised you haven't covered me in it, but apart from that, I'm quite happy. That's superb.
Yeah.
And very saleable if I was going to sell it, but I don't think I can bring myself to sell it. I love it. Thanks, Nev.
No worries.
I was going to say, thanks a lot. I'll get me coat.
Nice one.